So, but for the first attack I put down was Blade Dance by the dancer of the Boreal Valley. Boreal
Blade
Valley.
Dance.
The
Or
one.
Real Valley. That's what I've heard.
Oh, it's. I don't even know how to describe this attack. It's one of the most infuriating attacks that I've ever experienced in a boss fight, and it's simply down to consistency being an issue.
Is that the one where she just constantly swings her weapon for a while?
Yeah, so she does like the spin. She does like the dual spin attack, and then she follows you around the arena with it.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I've experienced myself, from a lot of practice, especially for the SL1 run I was doing, the spins, according even the wiki states, the spins are between 5 and 7. Okay, that's like the amount. Yeah, I have counted on many occasions she does it only 3 times as well. Like
Okay.
it just randomly occurs, so it's like it's consistent of like 5 and 7, and then all of a sudden it's 3 spins,
uh,
which throws me.
all right. I found it in the strategy guide. It's in stage 2. Okay, so one thing I didn't know when they refer to phases, they well, when it comes to phases in a boss, they actually refer to it as stages. I've heard it reversed, like boss attacks enter a phase, and then when they get a new health bar, that's a different stage. So
Yeah,
in the
that's how
strategy
I would have
guide,
done it.
I'm sorry.
That's how I would have classified that.
Okay.
The same, like new health bar, there's a new stage to me.
Yeah, apparently in here, whenever the boss fight changes up attacks, it's called a stage change.
Well, that's new to me.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have counted that myself.
yeah. This is the first time I've seen. This is the first time I've ever looked inside this book, probably. So
Didn't they
let's.
have a weird like term in the Dark Souls strategy guide for the Four Kings as well? Didn't they have like weird terminology on that fight that nobody ever used
Yeah,
for
energy
one of the
bolts.
attacks?
That
That
energy
was it.
bolt. Never heard of. I've always thought it was the homing soul mass.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what I thought.
but in the strategy guide, it's called the energy bolt. I don't know where that comes from, but.
It's just crazy how they use different terms to what the community is using.
Oh yeah, that I love that
Amazing.
though. I love being able to say a term I don't hear in the community, and people are like, what the heck is that?" And I'm like, "Oh well, in the strategy guide,
Yeah, approved by FromSoft. Has to be
approved."
correct.
And so, so how do you usually avoid this attack?
Well, I did actually try. So I remember reading when I first encountered this attack, people were saying to do the pillar peak strategy. Do you know what that is? You know, where you kite the boss around the columns in the arena?
Uh huh.
That's what I was told to do at first. But the issue with that is the fact that she has a thrust attack from phase 1,
Yep.
which is pretty rare, but it can go through the column and hit you. Like the blade can hit you through it.
Hmm.
So it's a weird one. I've had it happen to me. You know, like the worst moment. You think you're safe, you're about to heal, and then bit like the Godskin Apostle with the whole needle through the pillar idea. It's
Right.
that kind of situation. So I pretty much run back to the arena, count the spins, and then I always do a dodge on the final spin that she does, because if you time it just right, the iframe allows you to get just behind her to get in at least 2 attacks if you're one-handing. That's how I've always dealt with it.
Okay.
Unless she does the 3 spin, which is pretty rare, and then it completely messes up my strategy because, you know, there's a big gap that I have to kind of cover. So sprinting isn't really viable because obviously stamina is going to deplete. So I end up putting myself in kind of a more risk than reward situation.
Doesn't she have a rare riposte?
Yeah, I think I've only ever stunned her like once, and it was literally at the end of a fight, like at the end.
Wow. I wonder if it
I've
mentions that in here somewhere.
I've never really been able to stun her, but I've never also been able to keep the aggression on them that much because of the spin attack.
Okay.
But even to this day, it still trips me up, and I have hundreds of hours in Dark Souls 3, and it's the one attack I hate so much, so
Well,
much.
let's see what the guide says on how to avoid it. For the spinning combo, dodge back from these combos. They continue for up to 7 attacks worth of damage. You can't take that on the chin, nor can you block your way through it. The only wise method is to dodge until you're temporarily out of range, and then sprint until you're truly safe. Regenerate your stamina, and come back just after a brief whirlwind, and that ends the combination.
I've never tried that. Does it mention the caloric ring for the stamina regen?
I'm sorry?
Does it mention, isn't it the caloric ring that gives you the stamina regeneration? Does it mention anything about that?
I don't think in the strategy guides they recommend items unless it's truly needed, like the Taurus ring of the Ring of the Abyss from Dark Souls 1.
Oh, the amount of times that tripped me up too on my first playthrough.
Basically, how these strategy guides work, they give you a basic strategy that you work around your build. You can either follow them or not, but they don't recommend weapons or equipment.
Do you know, that's a good thing though, because I don't think there's a right or wrong way to play a FromSoft game.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you're enjoying it.
That's why.
know?
Oh, sorry.
No, that's all I was going to say. It's just as long as you're enjoying it, I think it's the best way to do it.
What's the best version of that attack you've seen? Is there an alternate version of that attack you think is handled better somewhere in the From Software games?
You know, that's a good question, and I've never really... I don't think I've ever noticed an attack that's similar to that blade dance that I can think of.
Yeah, I can't think of one either, really.
No, I like, because I know there's certain bosses, especially in Elden Ring, that you can tell where they've taken, obviously, the concept from. But I don't think there's... I might be wrong, obviously, somebody might know. But I don't think there's a boss that I've seen or I've ever paid attention to that does an attack relatively close to it.
All right.
I guess it would be maybe the Crystallians. You know, the one with the... Is it the wheel or the shield, you know, that they throw, I guess, because it does the spin attack. I guess that's kind of the closest I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. But that one, the tracking on that one is so off the player that it doesn't really...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You can walk past it and it'll just miss. And you could be right next to it.